the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, welcome back to week number 2 here for the 4Wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour at Thompson Motor Speedway. It's an interesting track here for week number 2, and these drivers are definitely excited here for the challenge tonight as they get ready to hit the boards, hit the track for qualifying. This is the 32 of Hunter Carlson, winner from last week at South Boston. Other drivers out there, this is the number 1 of Robert Eversole. And so drivers this week, Cody, I'm glad to join you here in the booth as a lead this week. Tell me about Thompson, because I bet you're excited.
Man, you know, Thompson, one of the it's a different racetrack. Nobody likes it. You go to
I like it.
Well, you know, you go and you ask drivers that like this place, they'll tell you, heck no, they don't like it. You know, it's a driver's track, man. You know, this track can produce racing from the top to the bottom. I mean, it's a multi-lane track. The hardest part, and you'll notice it, you know, here in the race, is off of turn 4. You know, turn 4 gets narrow. It gets like a bank and then flat and then bank. So, you know, it's a tricky corner to get up off of, and it's going to be interesting to see these guys as they try to make the starts. I think if they get through whoa, Robert Eversole going to get a little hot there. You know, I think as you see these guys and they get out there and they can get through the restarts, I think we'll see a lot of green flag run tonight.
Yeah, you and me were talking about in the pre-race. I think we might be able to get to those green flag runs as long as we can make it cleanly out of those restarts. We'll go ahead and take a look at the schedule here in this 8-week series. This week we're at Thompson, and then we'll go next week to Langley Speedway, then over to Concord, Oxford Plains, Southern National, Lanier Motor Speedway, and then we'll end off the season at USA International Speedway. Qualifying continues to commence. These drivers get 4 laps here tonight. Right now, it's Tristan Thiese on the top of the charts right now. He was a leader in practice right there, out there with a 19.191. Alan Zelstra second on the charts right now, a little less than a tenth behind, and then there, it's the 32 of Hunter Carlson. So 2 names from last week and 1 newcomer up at the top of the boards.
Yeah, we want to welcome everybody here to Elevated TV. As you're going to see, Cody Dimmers is going to be the producer and the color commentator tonight. We've given the lead over to Scott Chives tonight, and I want to welcome Scott back up here in the booth with us. And yeah, I mean, Hunter Carlson started last week right where he's sitting in qualifying here this week, Scott, and didn't take long, got to the front very quickly and led out there. And, you know, I'm kind of interested to see, you know, Scott, last week we had a couple cautions. Then we got to a point where we had a 76-lap green flag run.
It was one of the longest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my finger. Are we going to see another long green flag run here in this one?
Well, I'm just thinking, I mean, we saw Sobo. It's a very narrow track, and these modifieds are pretty big, pretty wide. We saw 70 laps there. I mean, we have to see 70 laps here because of how big this track is. It can honestly be awkward sometimes. That's one of the things that some drivers don't like about this track. It's almost like a flatter New Smyrna. And so, obviously, these corners a little less banked than that of New Smyrna. And so these drivers will really have to figure it out. Like you said, Cody, a driver's track, Thompson Motor Speedway is. The points are up here right now for these drivers. Hunter Carlson is at the top of those points. Then it's Alan Zelstra and Craig Parks. Then Robert Eversole and Nicholas Mole in the top 5 in those points right now. Zelstra and Carlson are tied at the top of those standings. And Craig Parks not here for the show this week, Cody.
Yeah, that's going to hurt him big here in points. And, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but I'm kind of excited to see what Wayne Cannon and Daniel Jones are gonna do. Daniel Jones, man, he is somebody that I've known when it comes to real life racing, and somebody that knows when it comes to sim racing. And like we talked about last week, I've been doing this league since Heat 5. I've been around, or actually Heat 4, excuse me. I've been around these guys, so I've been watching these guys, and Mindfu is a guy. He'll tell you, you ain't got to win every race to be there at the end in points. I mean, and, Wayne Cannon's the same way. He's a good tire-saving guy. When it comes to tire-saving tracks, and, Southern National, that's a tire-saving track. That tire is very abrasive on tires with the abrasive surface. So, that's just things that, to look into the season with these guys. And talking about the track, when you look at the track, and we'll try to get a view here in a few minutes. But, if you look at the corners, the bottom of the corner is flat. But when you get about halfway up the track, Scott, it's like it just banks out. So you've got almost like a U in the racing surface when it comes to the middle and the corners.
Yeah, progressive banking here at Thompson Motor Speedway. It creates that multi-groove racing that we like to see. You'll see drivers all night long almost diamond this racetrack, and what I mean by that is they'll cut in down to the bottom of the corner, then slide up to the top on that banking, cut down to get as much straightaway speed. Because these straightaways are so long, that momentum is really important. You won't miss a second of the action here tonight at Elevated TV for this 4Wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour. And man, you mentioned it, Cody. We saw excellent racing last week, and it was so awesome to watch these guys go out there, really have a good time. We saw a little bit of controversy up front as Carlson and Parks were battling for the lead. We saw a lap car of Exton get in the way, and Exton apologized for that in the chat later on. He was trying to get his lap back, and he later apologized to those drivers. So Exton looking to make up for it this week.
Yeah, and it's always good to own up to something. Me and Wesley have always said that. It takes a man to go out there and own up to hey, I'm sorry, man. I was just trying to race to get my lap back. And it wasn't like he was racing to wreck the leaders. He was just racing, like you said, to stay on the lead lap. So I mean, again, it takes a lot of courage to get up there and say, hey, that's my bad. I'm sorry. Because a lot of people, Scott, you've been around iRacing a lot. I've been around iRacing a lot, and a lot of people don't have the courage to say here and say, hey, I'm sorry.
No, and they don't, and I really love that you mentioned that, because honestly, when I'm driving myself in iRacing and somebody does something, an apology doesn't make it doesn't change that I'm wrecked, or it doesn't change that something happened, but it shows that guy has respect. And me as a driver, as well as a broadcaster, and even a person in general, especially in this sport, that's something that a lot of people appreciate. And I think when I'm out there and I hear people, oh man, I'm so sorry, like that was on me, I'm like, it doesn't make me like, it might as well never happen and we're good. But I'm like, I have respect for that, because that, like you said, Cody, is not easy to do.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not easy to do. It definitely takes a big, set of kahunas, as they call them, to sit there and say, hey, I did this. I messed up. I mean, and I can't sit here and say I'm one to say I'm sorry, because, if I don't feel like I done something, I'm not going to admit to it. But, some people, they have the courage, and, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. And, Kyle Edgerton, he admitted, hey, I made a mistake, but at the end of the day, it's racing with the leaders. So that's kind of things you got to look out here too. But, and then we had Gerald Berlin, man, somebody I've known a long time too. Jay Undead is his nickname, is what we call him. He loves using the bumper. We seen it. He showed us last week. Oh
my goodness!
He showed us last week that he likes using the bumper in these modifieds. And I can say this: the modifieds, you can use the bumper, and it's not like a late model stock where it's going to rake the person. So that's things that that are different from late model stock to modified racing. So got to play them in there as well.
Yeah, we've seen Gerald Berlin get aggressive in this SK Modified. I don't doubt that we'll see that same aggression here tonight. We talked about Daniel Jones, had bad internet last week, so look to have him here in this whole race. Robert Eversole performed in the top 5, just couldn't quite get it done. But what we know, Alan Zelstra last week used it up early in that tire, moved back into third, wasn't able to get back through the lead. We know Zelstra is definitely fast this week. And then we've got newcomer of Tristan Thiese. And so no idea what we're going to see out of him. There's so much unknown going into this race, 100 laps here tonight at Thompson. It's going to be exciting, and I think it's going to be some great racing because we saw excellent racing last week, so I really expect the same thing out of these guys this week.
Yeah, no, and this is going to be, I feel like, 125 laps, okay? We went into South Boston last week. It was a tire-saving race. This race, it's going to be a tire-saving race. We seen Hunter Carlson, he mentioned it in his interview last week, hey, my right rear tire was on 52% coming to the check.
Yeah,
he was one of them guys that, used his tires up, but he used them up when he mattered. Alan Zelstra, you mentioned it a while ago. He used his tires up too early and come that lap 76 mark when we had that long green flag run, which I don't think anybody was expecting that long green flag run. It didn't happen. As we looking to go get gridded up here.
Yeah, time to get gridded up. Qualifying is completed. And so these drivers out here ready to grid up. You'll have Tristan Thiese on the pole here in row number 1, 19.191 for the pole time. Then it'll be Alan Zelstra on his outside with that 19.26. Then it'll be Hunter Carlson and Gerald Berlin side by side in row number 2. Then it's Wayne Cannon and Robert Eversole in that number 29, number 1 in row 3. The 13 of Nicholas Mole and Kyle Exton, the number 4, will line up in row 4. 9th and 10th in row number 5 will be William Perry and David Brill. Then 11th and 12th, it'll be Daniel Jones and Andrew Jones.
Battle of the Joneses there at the end. Row 7 will be John Russo and Jesse Nord. And then you got Yogi Bear at the end there.
Yeah, Yogi down at the bottom did not put in a qualifying lap. Daniel Jones in 11th was the last driver to put in a qualifying lap. So the bottom 4 not putting in a qualifying lap here tonight. And so this, I am really excited about this. Got Alan Zelstra on the outside, newcomer of Tristan Thiese on the inside, was fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. And so I'm really excited what we're going to see here tonight. As I'm honest, I'm a little anxious because I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Don't feel bad. I'm ready to see what's going to happen here as the field is beginning to roll off here very, very shortly. Looks like we're waiting on Jesse Russo and Jesse Nord, and they're not John Russo and Jesse Nord, and they're not reeling off as there rolls the field.
Yeah, not gridding up as of right now. Neither of them put in a qualifying time, so I imagine they are not here in the session. Andrew Jones has connected, so he's in the session now. So Andrew Jones is in, but John Russo and Jesse Nord not making the show tonight. So Yogi Bear will be moved up into 13th position for the start of this race. As we prepare, look at the back of this camera from the pace car. Love this shot. It's amazing. It's a great camera. Pace car pulling away here now. We'll have one more lap until we go green. But Tristan Thiese on the pole here tonight. Alan Zelstra, and it's Hunter Carlson and Gerald Berlin, 4 extremely fast drivers up front. And let's not forget, Wayne Cannon and Robert Eversole there in the 3rd row. They are also really fast. We saw, again, Eversole last week in the top 5. Gerald Berlin got stuck in the back but was able to aggressively make his way back up towards the front. So we have a lot of action here. Again, we talked about it. Cody. We got to make it through this restart if we want to make it for a green flag run. But drivers are going to try to get positions as fast as and easy as they can. Pace car pulls off to pit road. It's all in the hands of Tristan Thiese. Green flag is away. Thiese dives down into turn 1, down on the bottom. Meanwhile, Zelstra up on the top. He's going to have great momentum here out of turn 2, but it's not going to be enough. Thiese out front. Meanwhile, a little bit of contact between Carlson and Berlin. Berlin moves up high. It's single file for the first 4. Then it's Cannon and Eversole.
Yeah, Eversole in that one machine on the outside. Wayne Cannon in that new 49 machine as he works on the bottom there in that 4-wide motorsports machine. And everybody looking to just try to get single filed out here. As here comes Edson, and it looks like the top lane is where you want to be right now. So, whoa, Cannon got a shift up.
Yeah, the top is absolutely where you want to be. Robert Eversole tried to pull to the bottom there to get in front of Berlin, was not able to do it. Now going to try to pull down here and carry momentum. Caution is out in the back of this field. Problem here for William Perry in the 46. I have to see if this was a solo incident or if it was on his, or if it was a little bit of assistance. This is the 17 right behind. Yeah, it looks like it was all on his own. William Perry, a little bit too much brake into turn number 1. So a solo incident for William Perry in that number 46 machine. Daniel Jones was right behind it, was able to turn down to the bottom and escape. So a quick incident there throws out the caution. We got away cleanly, Cody, and we were almost all single filed out, and then William Perry had an issue in the back.
Yeah, and I want to point out something real fast. We made a mistake here. It is a 100-lap race, not a 125-lap race. I got confused there with last week's race, and so we're 2 laps in, and early on, and it's a good thing, Scott. You get your caution out, you get settled in, and go ahead and get them out early so you can race the rest of the way. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things. It's very easy to dive deep into these corners. I mean, you carry so much speed down these straightaways that, I mean, you get into turn 1 just a little hot and you get on that brake a little heavy. Your car is not going to like it. You're not going to have enough grip in that modified to be able to hold the corner. And so it was good that it was a solo incident, no one else involved in it, so no damage for anyone. Perry is able to continue on. So still single filed out here. It was Tristan Thiese out to an early lead. Then it was Zelstra and Carlson battling for just a moment there, but not quite able to get anything done. So they were stayed in second and third. But Eversole went for an early move on Berlin. Didn't quite pan out. But I think that's going to be a battle right there between Eversole and Berlin.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so too. And Wayne Cannon, he's sitting there in the catbird seat as well as we're getting doubled up here. I feel like he's going to be there at the end too. And then Edgerton, if Edgerton can keep the tires under him, we seen him struggle with that last week. If he can keep the tires on him this week, I think he's going to be there. I think your top 10 is going to be within the striking range when it comes down to the end.
Yeah, Edgerton, before he went a lap down earlier in the last race at Sobo, he was very fast up in that top 5. Just had an issue involved in an incident. So we'll have to see how he can battle back from 6th on the outside right now. Same as it was before in the top 4. Green flag is away again for the SA. Bad start for the top row from Alan Zelstra, but he's got the top and dominant lane. He'll be able to get away, but Carlson down to the bottom won't have the momentum. Pull down to the inside. Meanwhile, it's Berlin looking for the move on Carlson. Gives in the bumper like he always does, but he's going to be attacked from the back of Edgerton.
Yeah, Edgerton right there on that 4 number modified on the bottom there. He's looking to the inside of Berlin. And the bottom, you can make it work, but it's not. It's not where you want to be. I mean, you can see right there the top lane working as they work back down into turn number 3 there, Scott.
Yeah, your momentum will be gone when you run that bottom. Robert Eversole having a problem up. It ran a little too high there in turns 3 and 4. Loses some time to Edgerton. So Edgerton settles up into 5th. Oh, Carlson, spinner, sideways. Berlin involved. Up and over for Edgerton. Up and over for the 2.
Oh, my goodness, the 2 machine. I think that's William Perry. No, I'm not sure who that was. You got to figure out who that was. That was Nicholas Mole.
I was wondering, we saw Edgerton go up and over, and then Nicholas Mole, almost a duplicate incident right there. We'll take a look back at what happened. This was Carlson getting loose out of turn 4. Berlin and him make contact. Then it's Eversole and Edgerton, and then Nicholas Mole rolls as well. Oh my goodness, big barrel roll.
We're going to have to get a roll counter out for that one.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, we got Edgerton going over.
Go back here.
Yeah, let's take another look at it. Let's take a look at the 32 here of Carlson. You'll see right here, loose out of turn 4, gets into Berlin. They get hung up. Then Eversole has nowhere to go into the back of Edgerton. And then I think it was the 29 car of Cannon got into Nicholas Mole.
Yeah, big time wreck there. A lot of damaged race cars. Looks like Carlson with a broke wheel. There you see cars coming down pit road.
Pretty much everyone is on pit road.
Well, I think other than your top 3, everybody's got to come down pit road with, in order to get, repairs. I mean, and I think you're going to use your fast repair here. I don't think you're going to get tires, but I think you're going to get your fast repair here, get your damage fixed, and get right back out there. Yeah,
that all started just Carlson getting loose, then nowhere to go for Berlin. So Berlin, Hton, Carlson, also all on pit road after that damage. Your top 3, top 4, top 5 have stayed out. My ticker is going through. Look at this. In 5 laps, Yogi Bear is up 8 positions from the start.
Yeah, he started dead last in 15th. He's up
in 5 laps.
He's making a move. He's going to be the hard charger tonight if he keeps it up.
He really is. He's on it right now. David Brill, a shout-out for him as well, up 6 spots from the start. I didn't think we were going to see any incidents like that, but that was kind of exciting.
Yeah, no. That's what I say. We have to get the flip counter out for that one, see how many times he flipped. And especially on board with him. I mean, he just felt like he kept rolling and rolling and rolling and never give up. So
he really did. I think it was at least 5.
Yeah, for sure. As pace lights off here.
Pace lights are off. The field is doubled up. It's still the same on the front row, but now the second, third, fourth, the rest of the rows are different. Everybody is all around. Green flag is away for the SA on the inside. Zelstra, what can he do from the outside? Zelstra falls in line. Then it's Robert Eversole. Yogi Bear on the bottom on the inside of the 88 of David Brill. Yogi Bear dives down to the bottom, tries to carry momentum, but the 88 will have it here off of turn number 4. That top is just so dominant.
Yeah, Yogi Bear trying to crack into the top 4 this time as he tries to look back to the inside of David Brill. David Brill going to shut the door on him.
Then everyone that had an incident back there, Kyle Hton, Carlson, Perry, Berlin, Cannon, Mole, all back behind these 3. And it's so easy to get loose. The 88 gets loose. Oh, big contact there. The 4 of Hton gets into the back of the 88 of Brill. They keep it together. The 4 goes all the way to the top, a little bit too high there. We'll try to carry the momentum here. Not quite able to do it. Meanwhile, Carlson trying to make something happen on the inside. He moves back up to the top and thinks better of it. David Brill still running out here. Meanwhile, it's Hton in the number 4, and Yogi Bear still trying to make it work on the inside. Got to try to move up here in front of the 32 of Carlson. There he goes, moves over to the inside. Now back to the inside. Yogi Bear really trying to make it work, and it is, but Carlson is making advances. Now he's to the outside. This is a battle for 6th. Battle between these cars right now. It's all about the SA out to a 0.7 of a second lead over that of Alan Zelstra. Then Robert Eversole, 0.3 of a second back to Zelstra.
There you see the battle with the 1 machine and the 93 machine. That's Alan Zelstra and Robert Eversole. Eversole is working his way up, trying to get to the inside of that 93. Zelstra in a different car this week, Scott. Was in a tied car last week. Now he's in the Red Bull this week. So rocking some different colors here this week. And the field single filed out. So
the field finally single filed out. They're close battles. A lot of drivers very close to each other, but you have to play it carefully. We have 87 laps here to go. It's time to be patient, time to settle in and get this run going. This is Kyle Hton in his number 4 machine at Exalta number 4. Love that brightly colored car. So easy to see. And caution. Caution flag waves. It's the 12 of Yogi Bear. He was running in the top 5. Has a big problem in entry of turn number 1. He was battling with Hunter Carlson. Carlson, oh my goodness! Big damage, side-by-side contact for Carlson and Yogi Bear. Got to take another look at that. What happened? Did Carlson squeeze him? Take a look here. Yeah, going back a lap or two. This is Carlson trying to make it work. You saw him, Yogi Bear still, he really liked that bottom for his car. We're going to take a look here from the camera of turn number 1 to see how this happened. You see Carlson right there now on the high line. Oh my goodness. Looks like Yogi Bear might have just come up a little bit too high. Wasn't room for 2. Yeah, nowhere for Carlson to go. Yogi Bear just came too high up the track.
Tough break there.
That's so I know, it's so frustrating. He was running in the top 5. He's doing really well. He's going to have to use that fast repair. He has come to the pit lane. He has not used his fast repair yet. He's still on the lead lap, but he's about to go a lap down here.
Yeah, tough break for him on that number 12 machine. As again, like you said, he was on a really good run there. As far as coming through the field, I mean, he went from dead last and 15th to 5th. I mean, that to me is a big turnaround. Didn't qualify. I'm not sure if he just had trouble in qualifying or just decided to start in the back of the field. And it kind of worked out in his favor.
Yeah, he might have assumed that there would have been some early incidents, and maybe if he was in the back, he could avoid them, which he did. But close battles between him and Hunter Carlson in that 32 made contact in the entry of turn number 1. Yogi Bear hits the inside or outside retaining wall, and that car gets destroyed. Yogi Bear now a lap down as the field doubles up. The pace car lights are off. 2 cautions so far in our first 14 laps of this race. A lot of laps to go.
And Scott, it's kind of crazy because we did not expect this many cautions this early on. We expected it to go green flag for a lot of it, but we were definitely wrong because here they come.
Yeah, I know. I really thought we would have gotten a long run already. Green flag is away. Bad start for that of Gerald Berlin, but he makes up the time down the back straightaway. So a little bit of a jumble there on the restart. But it's still Tristan Thiese, then Alan Zelstra, and the 88 of David Brill battling on the outside of Robert Eversole. Contact between them on the exit of 4.
Yeah, Eversole right there, and he's going to clear the 88 machines. The 88's going to try to give him a little tap, and here comes Edgston to the inside of Berlin. And, whoa, bro!
Kyle Edgston dives it down to the inside, tries to get momentum off the corner, makes a little contact with the 88. Luckily, they keep it straight and away. So single file out for this top 5, but it is close all here between these cars.
Yeah, now you can throw a blanket over from about second on back. Everybody's nose to tail, working through the corners, and I think now is when we're gonna, you're gonna see that everybody kind of, they've got their cautions out. They're gonna be kind of patient here now, and as we see Edgston there looking to the inside.
Edgston looking to the inside, trying to make a move. Got a great drive there out of turn 2 from the inside. Can he do the same thing in turns 3 and 4? Moves up the track. Contact between him and the 88. 88 slams the wall. That's David Brill. Luckily, no damage for the 88 of Brill, but now to the inside of him, that's Gerald Berlin.
Yeah, as you see Brill there working on the back bumper, the number 4 is going to give him a little love tap. Hey, man, didn't like that. Give me a little bit more room. And no harm, no foul. As the field is going to work back down. 81 laps to go. Now make it 80. And we're single foul here.
David Brill, very fast here tonight, trying to make the move back on that of Edgston. So David Brill sitting 5th right now on the timing charts. But man, he's looked to have speed in that 88, but got to get away from the incidents to be able to move up through this field.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen Berlin last week, very aggressive trying to get to the field. As here comes Eversole and Zelstra as they're battling for second, third. And, we seen Berlin come through the field last week very, very aggressively. And he's not doing that this week, Scott. He's biding his time, patience, knows it's a long race. It's not as long as it was last week, but, he knows he's still got to be patient.
Yeah, being very patient here. He's using the bumper just a little bit, but very sparingly in terms of how he drives. So Berlin content to hold with 6th right now. Might be a saving tire. It's one thing that we talked about, Cody, something that these drivers are going to have to think about tonight. You can't just go out there and run heaters every lap or else you will be slow later on. Robert Eversole has finally dropped back a little bit now from Alan Zelstra. They were battling hard up in that top 2, but Eversole has backed off, seeming to be content to ride in that 3rd position. But David Brill continues to ride here behind the 4 of Kyle Aitchton.
Aitchton going to get in the outside wall there.
Oh, I thought it was about to be 3 wide there for a second. That scared me.
Yeah, no, that 3 wide not what you want to do here. City 88 all over the back bumper of the 4 machine, and the 4 going to get right back around him. Keep that spot. As oh boy, Aitchton way off the pace. Not sure what happened with the 4 machine.
Aitchton way off the pace out of turn number 4, dives down to the bottom. Maybe the car jumped out of gear or something. That was really odd. Slowed down way out of turn number 4. Gathers it up. Luckily, it wasn't an incident, but Aitchton drops back from 5th down to 9th.
And this is that long green flag run we talked about, Scott. We're starting to see it.
This is drivers knowing they have to have that patience to be able to make it through this race. One thing I want to ask you, Cody, do these drivers pit for tires tonight?
Man, I don't think so. And if they do, I think it's going to be closer towards lap 40, lap 50 to go mark. I don't think you're going to see them pit as early as we did last week at South Boston. I mean, South Boston flat track. In these modifieds, they drive off the right rear. They use a lot of that right rear tire. So you would see, at South Boston, them using up that right rear a lot faster. Here, I don't think you're going to see it as much. I think you're going to see, more patient as we see Ken, and they're smack the wall. Whoa, man!
Oh my goodness!
Boy.
Huge incident between William Perry and the 29 of Wayne Cannon. Somehow they both keep it going forward. No caution between those two, but they lost a lot of time to Gerald Berlin in front. This is helping that of Hunter Carlson. He was at the back after that incident with Yogi Bear, and he's trying to work his way back towards the front. Now on the inside of the 2 of Nicholas Mole.
We see Nicholas Mole, that big flip he had in that incident. And yeah, he's regrouped, got himself back together, and he's worked his way back up to the 9th position, top 10. So I'm not too sure what happened to him. He was running 2nd, 3rd. He's all the way back here in 10th now.
I really think somehow I think whatever he uses, whether it be a shifter or whatever, I think that car hopped out of gear because, he slowed way down on the front straightaway. The only thing I can think of is that car hopped out of gear.
And we seen the lap before that, he pounded the outside wall of the front stretch, and I'm wondering maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe knocked the toe out, and the wheel might have, maybe he's got a force feedback wheel and it popped off the desk or something. But, that's just, things that happen. You never know. And that's the great thing about iRacing, Scott, is, the realism of it. It's not too realistic, but it's not too arcadish either. Because I've heard, some of these people say, if you turn your force feedback up too high, it'll almost break your hand just like it would in a real race car.
Yeah, it really does, especially guys with those more advanced wheels, the direct drive wheels. It can be kind of dangerous. I've talked about it a lot of times on these broadcasts that sim racing can actually be a lot of work. I remember one time I was running, I think it was the NASCAR Modified, which has a little bit more power than this SK, and we went for 70 green flag laps at Langley Speedway, and it was one of the most taxing races I have ever done. I was sweating by the end of it.
Oh yeah, no, Langley's always a good race, but yeah, no, it's just crazy to me that he went from 2nd or 3rd to 10th, and he's worked his way back up to the 7th position. So I'm not too sure. Maybe he got whatever happened fixed. So kudos to him as we go back up to the front to Robert Eversole. He's running 3rd, trying to catch that 93.
Yeah, Eversole and Zelstra have been 2nd and 3rd all night long, right next to each other. The gap between them never been more than 0.3 of a second. Meanwhile, David Brill right there as well. So these 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions very close to each other. But look at this. Alan Zylstra starting to reel in Tristan Thiese. Thiese been out front all laps so far tonight. He's been leading all, I think, 39 laps so far. But now, did he use up a little much early like we saw Zylstra do last week?
Yeah, and that's the question. As we see, whoa, Brill way off the pace. David Brill
Yes,
had a machine.
The 88 had a problem, so did the SA. Gerald Berlin trying to attack on that, was not able to. So now Zylstra within 0.3 of a second, and so is Robert Eversole. This is about to be a three-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, the Eversole, in that one machine, he's working on the back bumper of that 93, and he's trying to use that diamond that you talked about earlier, Scott. He's trying to diamond that 1 and 2 to try to get up under him, and then try to drive up to the center and use the turn up through the middle off of 3 and 4. So he's trying everything he can to get around that Red Bull number 93, but nothing just working. Zylstra just having a little bit more better car than Eversole does.
Yeah, Eversole trying to carry the momentum, but the 93 of Alan Zylstra has the grip off the corner. But I think Zylstra is having to look out of his mirror a little bit because he's lost time to Tristan Thiese. It's now up to 0.4 of a second, so not dropped by much, but just a little. So I think Zylstra's been having to do some defending, but maybe David Brill will take that out of his hands as Brill is on the back of Eversole as well.
Yeah, Eversole right there. And Eversole's got to keep in mind, hey, I've got Brill on my back bumper, so I can't be too patient. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to run Zylstra over. I mean, we still got 56 laps to go. I don't want to run Zylstra over. But I can't be too conservative because I've got Brill knocking on my back bumper, so I don't want him to get by me or run me over. Whoa, there it is.
Alan Zylstra up and over for Robert Eversole. It collects, David Brill as well. And look who snuck through Gerald Berlin. Immediately to the pits is the 88 machine. Oh my goodness, big incident. You're not surprised that it came, all these drivers fighting so close together. See Alan Zylstra get the bumper here from the 1 of Eversole, and he was so on the edge of grip that was all it took to get him sideways.
Yeah, as we see the one machine of Eversole, he goes up and over, so gonna be interesting.
Eversole bringing it back to the pit lane. We're going to take you side by side, and we'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Thanks to Stagger Pros for giving us the side-by-side here at Elevated TV. Green flag is away, and it's a newcomer up front. It's Nicholas Mole after he flipped and barrel rolled in the grass earlier. Carlson has stayed out as well. We saw some drivers come to the pit lane for new tires. So it's two new guys up front. Then it's the SA and Zylstra. Zylstra, no damage from that incident just a moment ago between him and Robert Eversole.
Yeah, as you see Berlin back there, he's battling William Perry in that number yellow 46 machine. Perry on the outside. And here comes Edgerton after having that problem early on. He's worked his way back up almost into the top 5. As Berlin's going to give him a little nudge there up the track, but here comes the essay to the inside of Zelstra.
Whelen spinning to the inside. Caution.
Yogi going to get into him there.
Yogi Bear nowhere to go, piles in at the end of the incident. The 17 of Daniel Jones, an innocent bystander. Take a look back here. Gerald Berlin on the inside of William Perry, then and now side by side with Kyle Edgerton. Down now here into turns 3 and 4. Edgerton up high, coming off the corner. Berlin moves up the track, wasn't quite clear. Both go for a spin. And then Yogi Bear, nowhere to go. Great move there by, what was that, the 3 of Andrew Jones. Narrowly avoiding the 17. But man. Hard night for Gerald Berlin. From the ups and downs, highs and lows. He had made it through that last incident, but gets involved here in this one. Thought he was clear, wasn't quite clear.
Tough break there for him, a tough break there for Daniel Jones after having the incident he had last week. He's just kind of riding in the back, minding his own business like he normally does, and just nowhere to go. Berlin comes up the track, and Edgerton with a hard impact to the inside walls. He shot down to the through the infield, so a lot of good cars there caught up in that one.
Yeah, hadn't used his fast repair yet, so Edgerton's still out on track. This is Gerald Berlin. I think he has used his fast repair from earlier. So he goes a lap down here trying to repair this damage. Been in the box for about 1 minute and 17 seconds tonight. Hunter Carlson back out front in this race. Saw him spin earlier that caused our early flips. But now he's made his way back out front. But the last time he pitted was 3 laps ago, so he took 2 tires in the box.
Yeah.
So he's the only driver out here with 2 tires, Cody.
And you got to think, is that a strategy, you know? We're approaching halfway here. And, you know, you got to think, is that a strategy move?
I mean, look, you got to do something different. The SA Zelstra had been out front all night long. Carlson was not, unless they absolutely burned up their stuff, which I think they were still pretty fast throughout that run. You got to do something different if you want to get past them.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely think you gotta make something work here. You know, as far as it comes to the 32 machine, I think the SA's got the fastest car. Mo almost trying to take off there, and good restart here. Oh, Mo had to check a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start there on the outside for Mole. Carlson is away and out back to the lead. Meanwhile, Thiesse moves back up into second. Then it's William Perry down on the inside of Zelstra trying to make something happen on the bottom. Oh, Zelstra going to have a little bit of a problem. That's going to allow Perry to get up into 4th. Meanwhile, it's the 80 of David Brill down, parked in the grass. He brings it to pit road. That keeps us caution-free, and the green flag is still out. Not sure what happened to Brill there.
Yeah, just tough break there as he got a little loose all by himself off of turn number 4, spins it out, and around he goes down to the infield. Just toes back to the pit lane. It's probably going to end his night here at this one.
Yeah, and Brill had been fast throughout most of this night. Just got involved in a couple of incidents there in the last 2 cautions. And so unlucky for the 88 of David Brill. So Alan Zelstra is back to 5th. We saw him in 5th last week at Sobo. He was able to get his way back up to 3rd. This one not being from him overusing his tires. This being from pit strategy. So can Alan Zelstra get back past the 46 of William Perry, Nicholas Mole, and Carlson to get back to the SA. But the SA not out to the lead. It's Carlson, the winner from last week.
Yeah, Hunter Carlson found some speed in that race car after halfway. As the SA struggling, man, up off of turn number 4. Looks like he is definitely not. The car's definitely not handling like it had been. As we were going to lift that looks like Wayne Perry and William Perry and Wayne Cannon there. They're going to touch doors and work down the backstretch.
Yeah, Perry had a problem coming out of turn 4, got into the wall. That allowed Alan Zelstra to go by on the inside, and now under the attack of Wayne Cannon. Luckily, that 46 of Perry has the dominant outside lane, able to carry that momentum. We talked about it earlier, and then we continue to talk about it now because of how important it is to have that lane. It's almost impossible to make a pass on the bottom unless the person you're running against makes a mistake.
Yeah, no, the top is definitely where you want to be. And you see, right there's a white line in the center of the corners. You want to be in 1 and 2. You want to be kind of in or up above that, but be on it in the middle, and then be right below it with your right side's touching it through the exit. And then you want to be right above it all the way through it until you come off, and you want to have your left side right on the white line up off the exit. So that's just kind of linked things. And we'll actually go on board here with your race leader, Scott, as we come back to the thing to kind of give you guys a lap around Thompson.
Yeah, take a listen at the roar of this SK Modified. We'll give you a corner for it. It's got such a low rumble. It sounds so cool down the backstretch. Big RPMs. I mean, high up as they go in this second gear SK Modified. But right along here with your leader of Hunter Carlson. And man, this is a tough race car to drive.
Yeah, definitely a tough race car to ride. As you see Robert Eversole and Wayne Cannon, they're battling once again here. And that 29, that 4 seat, Edgston, after having that problem early on, he's worked his way back up in almost the top 5, Scott.
Yeah, Edgston's going to have to get around William Perry, but Perry is almost 7/10 of a second ahead. So Edgston has some work to do out in front of him, but he's got a lot of cars who want to get past him right behind, so he's got to get away from them as fast as possible. It's Wayne Cannon, Robert Eversole, and Daniel Jones, all 3 of them back from incident. Now Wayne Cannon down to the bottom, but just not enough speed. Will this open the door for Eversole? It checks them all up. Eversole gives a little bit of a shove here to Wayne Cannon on the entry to 3.
Yeah, Eversole going to use that bumper a little bit. Let Cannon know he's there. Here comes Eversole to the outside of Cannon. Cannon trying to make that bottom work, trying to make something happen here as they work through down the back straightaway here in the 29 machine. That 4-wide motorsports, that's Wayne Cannon. That is the whoa, hang on to her there, Cannon, as they work up a forward.
Man, Cannon a little tight there on the exit of the corner, gets into Eversole, gets a little loose, almost goes around. Excellent save there by Wayne Cannon, but Wayne Cannon falling back. Now to his outside, it's Daniel Jones in that 17 we saw involved in that most recent caution. So Jones trying to work up, but Wayne Cannon trying to squeeze him up high.
Yeah, Cannon and Cannon in another car this week, a different car this week, Scott. He was in the Rockstar Energy 29 last week. He's in a 4-wide motorsport sponsored machine this week. So a couple of these guys driving new cars as we got, looks like maybe one spinning down the front track. That's going to be Perry, and that's going to throw
Perry. Mole also had a problem up front, so a double spinner out of turn number 4 brings out your caution here with 36 laps to go. Take a look here at William Perry. This is Nicholas Mole fighting with Alan Zelstra. Zelstra gets by. Meanwhile, Perry sends it in on the inside. Coming out of turn number 2, William comes up into Mole, and they both spin. Nice save there by Nicholas Mole.
Yeah, nice save there to not tear the car up, not mess anything up on the race car. So unfortunately going to have to come down pit road, probably flat spotted the tires, and going to have to probably take 4 tires if he hasn't already.
Man, is this the move of the race? Was 2 tires the move of the race for Hunter Carlson? Has been out front by a great lead over Tristan Thiesse. Thiesse dominated the first portion of this race, but doesn't seem to have the same car he did earlier, Cody.
Yeah, no, Carlson definitely making 2 tires work. As you see Yogi Bear there, he's getting one of his laps back there, trying to get back on the lead lap. And but yeah, no, I think 2 tires is going to be the move, man. It kind of makes me wonder what Thiesse done there, Tristan, what he done in that second position, and because he is one of the fastest cars, but you look at the times, okay? Hunter Carlson's best time, 19.291. The SA's time at 19.3. That's a tenth difference. So you know, I'm like you. Was 2 tires the move of the race here?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's working out for him, and especially this caution will help him be able to save a little bit more tire on those right sides, because again, you mentioned it, Cody, this SK Modified will absolutely burn that right rear. I mean, we talked to Hunter Carlson after his win last weekend, and he said, you know, my right rear is almost done, and I wonder if he gets the win tonight. I'm going to wonder what his percentage here is tonight. But it's not going to be easy to hold off the SA. This is not a win in the bag by any means whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they're doing here. The pace car lights are off on the iRacing official pace car. There we go. Now they're getting doubled up. So, yeah, no,
Like
definitely.
The SA was trying to start on the bottom.
Yeah, as I say, I thought we were going to go single file there, Scott.
Now, we haven't had enough cautions to have that yet. You got to have a lot to go single file restarts. Hunter Carlson on the inside, 89 of Tristan Thiese on the outside. Green flag is away. 35 laps to go in this 100-lap race.
And here comes Zelstra. Here comes Edgston. Wow, Edgston back up in the top 3 after, again, having that problem with the gutter caution.
Man, Edgston, man, that is great. Edgston moving through this field time and time again as the caution is thrown out. Imagine we had a bit of a stack up on the restart.
See if we can't figure out what happened here.
Let's see, down into turn number 1.
Oh,
Brill gets into Perry. And that Brill is 4 laps down, and Perry is on the lead lap. So another little bit of lap down traffic causing an issue.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, in a sense of way, you know, as we look at it once again here, keep your eye on that blue and red number 88 and the yellow machine on the inside line as they work down into 1 and 2. Brill just gets a better run. I don't think he was expecting Perry to check up as much. It's a great job by Yogi there.
Yeah, I think Perry was being a little bit conservative there into turn number 1, not wanting to slide up the track into one of his competitors, but Brill did not expect him to be as slow into the corner as he was. And so a racing incident there between 2 machines. The only difference between them being is 4 laps out on the racetrack.
Yeah, for sure.
So right now it's still Hunter Carlson to the lead. And again, no laps under caution. This is, I mean, we freeze number of laps when we go under caution. And so it's all green flag laps. So he's not taking away any laps. His tires are only cooling down. You still got to run all of those 34 laps we will have when we get to take the green once again. But Cody, we did not expect this here tonight with such a big track. I really thought we were going to go green for a long time.
Yeah, no, I did too. I mean, you know, I expected 1 or 2 cautions here and there, but, you know, I didn't expect, you know, a lot of cautions. You know, I really didn't expect a lot of cautions, and it does look like we are going single file after, you know, 2 consecutive cautions. We're going single file here. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a big track, plenty of racing room, and we've had a little bit more cautions than I thought we would.
Yeah, me too. A little bit of a single file restart action here. The 4 not quite getting in line yet. Going to jump to the outside. That was interesting. The 4 of Edgston never really got into line there. So wonder if that'll assess a penalty from the league itself. Not sure yet, as now single filed out for them. Zelstra determines it on the track. He was like, I had this position. It was mine.
Yeah, for sure. We look back and we got that same little battle again. Eversole and Cannon. They just can't seem to get away from each other, Scott.
No, they can't. Eversole trying to work his way back from an incident earlier with Alan Zelstra. He was running up in the top 3, had that incident in turn number 4, went all the way to the back. And we know Eversole is fast. He's just trying to get back to the front of this pack. Tristan DSA back up front. He is so close to the back of Hunter Carlson. It's now within 0.3 of a second between these two drivers.
Yeah, as you look off the nose here of Tristan DSA, and he's right there in that grasping range of that number 32 machine. And there you see off the back bumper of the 32 machine as they work back down into turn number 3. And just look at the different line. Look at the momentum the 89 gains, but look at the momentum off the top.
Yeah, look at the momentum lost on the exit of the corner. 89 now moves up high, going to try to carry that speed out of turn number 2. Now the gap 0.4 of a second between these two cars. This is Kyle Edgton back in 4th. Didn't quite get in line on that restart, but nothing assessed by race control here with the league. But it's all fair and good now that Zelstra is out back in front. Then it's Wayne Cannon in his 29. Had some problems earlier on getting loose. Now he's been able to tighten that car up and be able to hold his line. Oh, big hit! Edgton into the wall.
Yeah, Kyle Edgton with a big hit there. I'm sure that. Oh no!
Wayne Cannon, spinner on the inside. Caution is out.
Tough break there. As we see the 4 machine. Watch it here on the replay. The 4 machine of Kyle Edgton with a hard impact there on the outside retaining wall here at Thompson Motorsports Park. Watch it right here. Boom!
Yeah, just trying to carry too much speed out of turn number 4. Then Cannon dives it down to the inside at too much speed, makes contact with Edgton, spins to the inside, brings out the caution.
Tough break there for him as he's been in the top 5 all night. So, not what he wanted to see, but I'm sure he's got 28 laps he'll regroup from.
Yeah, 28 laps to regroup. He will go back to the back. Let's see where, once timing and scoring moves everything around, we'll see where he will restart. Cannon is in the pit lane as well as the 3 of Andrew Jones. And who was that? Oh, it's the 4. Is that the 4? Yes, Kyle Edgton in the pit lane as well after that big contact with the outside wall.
Yeah, there you see Cannon, Edgton, and I'm not sure if is that Andrew Jones, that last one? Yep, that's Andrew Jones.
It is.
He's down pit road. Here comes Perry. Perry coming down pit road.
Yeah, all these drivers had issues earlier. The only person I can't think of that had issues is Andrew Jones, but we know Perry had some contact. I imagine a lot of these drivers have already used their fast repair and have to come into the pit lane to get damage repaired. Still single file restarts. Pace lights are still on the pace truck.
73 down of 100. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back here, we'll have the conclusion. The last 25 laps here at Thompson Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a minute.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to
as they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Welcome back here on Elevated TV as the 89 machine going to go down pit road, but we're back under caution. And right now, I think Scott's trying to find out what happened for us.
Yeah, I'm looking around here in the session. I haven't seen anything yet to cause a caution. I'm looking through the field right now, but not seeing any spinners or anything. This is weird. Oh, I see. Looks like Robert Eversole went through the grass. Yogi Bear, yeah.
Yep, there it is. Take a quick one more look here.
Oh, yeah, there it is. This is Yogi Bear on the inside of Wayne Cannon. Then it's David Brill. Yogi Bear down to the bottom here, very slow. Goes all the way to the back, then tries to rejoin here, but still down to the bottom. He's been a bottom feeder all night long. Oh, it just makes contact with William Perry. Man, William Perry cannot escape the incidents tonight.
Not too sure what's going on. Looks like we got some post-race action there with Yogi.
Yeah, interesting. You know, another thing interesting I've seen here, Eversole has been dipping his tires in the grass to cool them off. I've seen this. I've seen this at a lot of places. I remember I saw it in a video one time. It was an endurance race, and I saw it for the first time in the sim. And so, but I've never seen someone do it in a stock car.
Yeah, no, at Southern National, you'll see at the start of the race, some races, you'll see the late models and the street stocks. They'll actually get on the end where the apron meets the banking, and they'll swerve their tires there to get heat in the tires. It actually heats them up faster because it rocks the car back and forth, puts more weight on the tires, so it heats them up faster. So, and then you'll like you said, you'll see cars, especially the late model races, you'll see them go all 4 tires through the grass.
All 4 tires to the grass will cool them down. Eversole made his way back up to 3rd so far. It's still Hunter Carlson out front as we take the green flag. Meanwhile, Thiesse not to be seen here in the front. He's back in 11th.
Yeah, Thiesse went down pit road. Looks like he may have took his, 4 tires there. As went 3 wide off the front stretch.
Oh my gosh! Contact a little bit between Mole and Eversole. Keep it clean here in turn number 1. Don't know how he made it out of turn 4 like that, but they did. So Eversole under attack by Edgston. Edgston down to the inside, won't have too much here to carry. We'll try to move Eversole up here, but Eversole will have that great momentum out of turn number 4. He's back into 3rd position. Meanwhile, it's Carlson and Zelstra out in front.
Yeah, everybody's starting to single file out here as they work down the front straightaway. There you see Zelstra in the 93. Now we're going to scan here to the 4 machine, the 2 machine, and whoa boy! David Brill with another big almost incident there as he got into the 70 of Gerald Berlin.
That was a very close incident between those two. Somehow they all keep it together. Looking along here with the 29, Wayne Cannon. He has been stuck in the mid-pack of this race all night long. Whenever he seemed to have some momentum turning his way, something goes wrong. Then Nicholas Mole, he's in the top 5 right now. I mean, he's been to the back, to the front, the back to the front, back to the middle here in the top 5.
Yeah, he's had that early flip early on. Got his useless fast repair. Got caught up in another late on spin. And now he's kind of settled in. Kind of settled in that 5th position. Kind of riding. But at this point, Scott, 18 laps to go, coming to 17 this time. You got to start pushing.
You got to start pushing. Daniel Jones is pushing. He's right behind Mole, and he's not going to be content to sit there with 17 laps to go. So Mole is going to have to fight for it. and he's gaining on Etchton as well, as Jones had a bad corner behind, but now Mole way up high. Jones has to take a little bit of a lift there out of turn 2. Turn 4. That's going to open the door for Cannon, trying to get something going on this top line.
Yeah, Wayne Cannon, that number 29 machine. He's all over the back bumper of Daniel Jones. Here he comes, Daniel Jones, trying to be patient with the number 2 machine. Almost cost Cannon his race there because of that. And Wayne Cannon going to save it. Now you've got to begin 15 laps to go in this one. Daniel Jones going to start pushing a little bit here on the 2 machine.
Yeah, Jones still hounding the back bumper of the 2 of Nicholas Mole. And so Mole is going to have to be careful here because Daniel Jones is hungry. He has had not the best night he's wanted. And so he's going to want a top 5 here tonight. That'll definitely make him feel better about how tonight went. But Daniel Jones is right there.
And you got to think he's also wanting a good points night from last week. Not in the middle of the race, having a packet loss, his internet cutting out, so not getting the best of the points night. So he's definitely looking for a good points night here in this one.
Yes, he is. Definitely doesn't want to fall too far down those standings because it is a short run to take the championship here in this 4-wide Whelen Motorsports Tour. As we see the 89 here of Tristan Thiese slow 1 lap down. And so something went wrong for him earlier, trying to get back up to speed. That car looks like it has a mechanical problem.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on there with that one. It definitely looks like he's down on some power, and definitely struggling there with that one.
Well, it's a sad time for Thiese because he was absolutely dominating here tonight. And even when he wasn't, he was back in second. As we look back here, Daniel Jones trying to make a move to the inside. Not going to work for him. We know that bottom line just does not carry enough speed. But Jones trying to try something different to throw Mole off his game. Then it's Gerald Berlin, David Brill, and William Perry right here all together. 3 cars in a line. Brill is 3 laps down, but Berlin and Perry are fighting for position.
Yeah, Berlin, somebody, he's been quiet. He's been quiet tonight, and he's been kind of riding in the back.
That's paying a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Because, last week, like we said earlier, he was up in the front, mixing it up with them. And here it's like he's done a totally 360, and I said it earlier, Scott, a lot of people don't like this racetrack.
Yeah, no, Berlin not loving this racetrack, just not being as aggressive as he normally won. Maybe that's for a lack of confidence. Doesn't want to spin out any other competitors. This is still Daniel Jones, but now Wayne Cannon trying to move to the inside. Meanwhile, Mole trying to defend away from Jones, but now Jones gets to the outside. Will Mole be able to block it? Yes, he'll slide up here in front. An excellent block by Mole.
Yeah, Nicholas Mole with a great block there on the NOS number 17 of Daniel Mindfree Jones. And then you got Wayne Cannon there in that number 29 machine as he works down the front straightaway. He's right back in contention, but up a turn number 4, or down the back straightaway, coming off of turn number 4, Barney, the iRacing flagman, as we call him here on Elevated, he's going to give the open palm to the 32. 5 laps to go here, Scott.
5 laps to go for Hunter Carlson. He took the lead with 56 laps to go. So he's led for over 50 laps here in this race tonight. If there was an award for most laps led, well, he'd have it. Sadly, there's not, but there is an award for winning. It's a first place trophy and the most points, and he's trying to get that here tonight. If he did, it would be back-to-back wins. But anything can happen in these last 4 laps. Zelstra 0.8 of a second back, so Carlson just has to run clean laps to be able to get this win. Coming to the flag, 3 laps to go, Cody.
Yeah, next time they come back around and we popsicle 6 in the air, and as old Wesley Outland used to say, Zelstra last week, it was one thing to catch him, but it was one thing to pass him. He's nowhere in the ballpark this week. 2 laps to go, popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go for the 32.
Hey, but Zelstra finishing 3rd last week. If he gets a 2nd place finish this week, we look to him next week to maybe move up another position and get the win. We know that he's been strong. He's ran up front in both of the races that we've had so far, but just not able to capitalize here. Hunter Carlson comes around, takes the white flag. One more lap to go here at Thompson Motor Speedway for Hunter Carlson. Again, led over 50 laps tonight. He has been nothing, everything except consistent. He's been Mr. Consistent here tonight. He's going to come out of turn number 4 to get a back-to-back win in the 4Wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour.
Yeah, great job there by the 32 machine. Him and I believe it was Berlin getting in to each other early on there off of turn number 2. And had to go down pit road after heavy damage, flipping a bunch of cars, rebounds from that, takes 2 right side tires, and he is going to win here at Thompson.
Man, the 2-tire strategy was the winning move at the end of the day. Nobody else thought of it, and Carlson led from the drop of that pit stop. Eversole giving a little bit of donut as well. Eversole finishing 3rd here tonight. That's 2 spots better than in the previous race. Daniel Jones finishes in 5th, got ahead of Mole just barely on that last lap.
Yeah, as we take a quick look here at your results, Hunter Carlson and Alan Zelstra are going to come home 2nd. Robert Eversole, your top 3, Scott.
Yeah, then it's Kyle Etchton there in 4th. Had a wild night up and down this chart, but he ends up in 4th in the number 4. Then it was Daniel Jones rounding out those top 5. Nicholas Mole and Wayne Cannon were in 6th and 7th. William Perry and Berlin battled there at the end, but it stayed as it was in 8th and 9th. 10th and 11th, Yogi just was not able to have the night. He had 2 incidents and could not recover from them. He was the last car on the lead lap. Then it was Tristan Thiese, led a lot early on in this race, sat on the pole, but ends the night in 11th, 1 lap down. And David Brill ends the night 3 laps down in 12th.
Yeah, Andrew Jones coming home 29 laps down, and John Russo and Jesse Nord did not start the race. Well, Scott, we're going to take a quick commercial break and try to get a word down here, walk down here and get a word with our race winner, Hunter Carlson. So don't go anywhere. When we come back here on Elevated TV, we'll have post-race interviews.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second spot, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at him.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Well, we're back from commercial break after this 100-lap race. And it's Hunter Carlson bringing up the win. 2 wins in a row in the opening 2 races. And Hunter Talk to me about that call. 2 tires in the middle of this race.
Well, I knew it was going to be hard to pass, and it was really hard to pass here tonight. And thinking, I think people, if they take tires, it's going to be 4 tires. I didn't think I was going to come out first and end up restarting second. I thought it was going to be maybe 3rd or 4th and have a chance at the top 5. But as soon as I came out second, I'm like, I have a chance of winning this thing.
And I got to ask you, Hunter, coming off of turn 2, and this goes back to that incident, at the start there. Coming off of turn 2, was that more, just netcode issue? Was that more, maybe you got in the wall a little bit and got into Gerald, or what happened there?
Honestly, I just lost full talent right there, and the car just snapped on me. Tripped over myself. Gotta love it.
Well, I mean, it was excellent to watch you out there. I mean, once you got out front, it was great. I mean, how did it feel on those 2 tires?
Actually, I think your car ran better on 2 tires than it did on fresh 4. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you were absolutely running away with it, and it was great. And then the SA was really one big challenge for you, and then he had a problem there with under 20 to go, and then it was all you out front.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened to him. I'm going to have to go back and watch it and see what happened. But I hate to see that happen to him, because I think him and I would have had a hell of a battle in those last 30, 40 laps or whatever it was. But I'll take what I can get at this point.
Yeah, no.
Well, go ahead, Cody.
No, you're good. No, for sure. And I have one final question. What made you take 2 tires? I seen everybody pretty much taking 4 tires. Was it just a strategy call, or was it just something you were testing your luck out at?
Honestly, I was thinking, after looking at my tires every time I came into pit, check damage or take a fast repair, thinking these left sides aren't wearing, and I figured I'd take a gamble and see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Thankfully, I came out essentially all 99s across the board on the left sides, and I figured maybe it'll work.
Well, excellent win. It's back-to-back, and you're at top of the point standings already, and this is going to move you further up the charts. So congratulations, Hunter Carlson, on a second win here in the 4-wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour.
Thank you.
Well, Cody, that was Hunter Carlson, winner 2 weeks in a row. I mean, dominant.
Yeah, for sure. He dominated the last 76 laps of South Boston, and then pretty much dominated from lap 56 to go here to the end. So I mean, it just shows the talent that kid has. He's come a long way since I've known him, I know he's been around the world of iRacing for a long time, and it just shows what he can do here on the sim. And I know this isn't the only league he runs, so that just adds on to it.
No, definitely talent out of that 32 camp for Hunter Carlson. But I think, Cody, that's going to do it for it all here tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, once again, we want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight here on Elevated TV. Make sure you go to like and subscribe to the Facebook page and the YouTube page if you haven't already done so. Make sure you join the Discord. The Discord link should be right there in the chat to keep up with all of the latest and greatest broadcasts on Elevated. Thanks again to Scott for coming over here and joining us. He's our lead commentator here on Monday nights now, and we'll be back on Tuesday night, which is tomorrow night. Check out Stagger Pro's Facebook page and their YouTube page for all the videos and stuff for them. I do produce over there for them. Wednesday night we have a Rolling Thunder Street Stock Series. If you're interested, get in the Discord. Them races are broadcasted on Saturdays as a replay. Thursday night we will not have nothing. Friday we will not have nothing, and then we will not have anything else until Sunday. And I think we're going to try to get Scott into some late model stock racing.
Hey, I'm already used to it on Saturdays, so might as well run it up again for Sundays.
And we'll also have Wesley Outland if his schedule looks clear. We're going to try to get him in there for the Leadfoot Racing League after they had a heck of a race last night. We seen Riley Gentry winning that one, and Carson Quapple took out the entire field there. So kudos to him for calling the big one at Martinsville. So Scott, final thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, we saw more cautions here tonight than we thought we were going to, but I think it was a great race. I don't think it was too much. I don't think it was crazy. I think we saw a great race.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, well, for everybody here at Elevated TV, for myself and Scott Shives, we will see you tomorrow night over on Stagger Pros. Good night, everybody.